Great.
Yeah, I can hear
You're all ready to get loaded up to the into a proper civilian ship to be taken down to the arcology.
Oh yeah.
Going down in a proper non-military ship to the arcology is a much different experience than the nosedive that was first taken. Being in proper seats with proper windows lets you get a crisp view of the city. A massive, multi-layered construction vaguely resembling the shape of a pyramid, with no clear distinction in walls that enclose the several hundred stories of the arcology. It's difficult at first to tell where the support for the height is, especially when each section there is a clear empty space above the skyscrapers littering the place. But the closer you get to see there is a central beam, one that must be several hundred kilometers in circumference, shooting through, and the exterior is coated in a shimmering field that also looks to be helping with supporting the floors. It's a megastructure in every sense of the word. Far below you are the outskirts of the city, someplace of extreme economic difference, as the further out seems to be more wealthy areas, and the inner to be more dense and familiar poverty seen on just about any world still flying the flag of capitalism. You're headed to a hangar base on the 621st floor. This is where you're allowed to call me a hack, and this one time only. In one of the higher level districts, the ship begins to dock through a station situated for civilian entry, coasting through a dark corridor as security lights scan the ship as it passes, flicking from red to green that slices on the ship. Reaching the end, it takes on the runway until finally reaching a stopping point. Moving over to a reception area for you all to unload. It's from there that you're supposed to be meeting someone from the hangar base where you'll be operating out of, a member of your support crew that'll be assisting in deployment and operations. And you're able to exit the vessel into what looks to be like a common airport area. Type of area, anyways.
Whoa.
Walking around just a little bit, it doesn't take long before you begin to feel you're getting lost, but it looks like the aide spots you before you spot him, and you're approached by this man. Sorry, I got something in my throat.
Yeah. Whoa.
Hey there, I'm Owen. Was sent by the big U to pick you all up. Good to meet all of y'all. I'm gonna be your weapons procurement. And he goes over to like shake hands with each one of you in like a very professional way.
Good to meet you too, Owen. I am Lorelai.
As I shake his hand, I'm gonna just kind of stare at him for a little bit and say, weapons procurement, does that mean printing or...
Printing's part of it, but it also but you can't just print all your ammo. Things like explosive and stuff, we gotta source manually.
I'm going to give him the expression and like pat him on the shoulder and say, I'm gonna talk with you in about 2 weeks' time.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
2 weeks.
Once introductories are out of the way, he asks you all to follow him to a car he's had prepared, and he's going to drive you all to the hangar base.
Okay.
It's a relatively short drive to the hangar base from there. In a sparser area of the urban crawl, it's located in a place that's cut just between civilian and industrial. You learn from Owen on the way that this is an area popular among mercenaries, that the base used to be used by all kind of people, including Union, until it was fully bought out and set to be staffed by the company Union is founding on your behalf.
Nice.
And because of that, as you drive through, you pass by a myriad of smaller private hangars, civilian apartments, bars, and other dimly lit places. Everyone here is touched by the violence of industry in some way or another. Pulling into a lot, you immensely notice just how large this space is. It's big enough to host even the biggest of Macs. It has living quarters built in, along with various other amenities meant to bundle together the life of a machine-made economy. Walking inside is immediately a common area of the living corners, where you see a couple of people waiting for you.
This is a big place for 4 people.
It used to host a lot more than 4 people.
True.
An old man sitting at the bar area drinking coffee and reading a paperback novel is just sitting around there, and he gives you a bit of a look and a groan before rising to walk over. So you're all been blood. Don't look too bad. You don't smell too bad either. Not that I got a sense of either. I'm Washington, but you can just call me Con. I run the joint.
Great to meet you.
Via will shake his hand. The metal one, specifically.
Prophet will
You
give
got a
him
good eye, you lady. That's my good arm.
Prophet will give him a smile and nod and shake his hand. Give him a firm
Firm
handshake.
grip on this one.
Yes.
He's gonna give you a pat on the back. He's pretty short, so he's only gonna be able to reach like barely halfway up your back, but he'll pat it.
Does
then-
Karn...
Mhm.
Does Karn have hydraulics in his leg that can make him taller at will?
Oh my
He
fucking
does
God.
not, no. It's meant to simulate his original height. He's a short king.
He doesn't want
Hell
height
yeah.
dysphoria.
I hate this story.
Hey, that exists. Some cis men get
That's
like
real.
height lengthening surgery that like extends their legs.
And it's horrible.
Yeah,
So
painful as
funny.
fuck.
They literally break their legs.
Finally, the other person in the room rises to introduce herself, and she is a very well-dressed, professional-looking woman. She reaches out to very promptly shake hands with each one of you.
Well,
Good to meet you. My name is Carolyn Carter. I'll be your handler. By no means am I your boss per se, but I am here to keep an eye on things and ensure a smooth operation. I hope the flight in wasn't too bumpy, but I hear that no matter what, it's better than what your maiden flight down was.
oh, of course. Our first visit down here was more than bumpy. For sure.
In addition to being situated here and helping with your venture, I also manage other things on the Union side, so I'll be largely hands-off with things until necessary. Hopefully, it doesn't become necessary. So to assist with things on your side of the fence more often will be Rio, the NHP of Rio Grande. I'm sure you've met her. A local connection on our base on the ship will be strung up here, though it hasn't gone live just yet.
Yo.
This
Woohoo.
fucking card cheat.
Wahoo!
We love Rio.
Cheating blue bitch.
Oh my God.
It's good to have you all here. The only person you haven't met now is Carmen, I believe. She's the lead
Oh, no.
engineer. I
Uh-oh.
believe I believe she's in the
Uh-oh.
hangar. I believe she's in the hangar doing regular maintenance on your chassis.
Alarms are going to go off in Via's head.
I see.
Well, Via and Charlemagne immediately start making their way to the hangar.
Oh no.
Come with me, sister. They cannot touch our babies. You have a
Michael will be
different.
heading over there right
You
now.
have a different worry, but they cannot touch our babies.
Agreed.
Peep the Discord real quick.
Got two mechanics nerds. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Eh,
I
those
mean,
two are
Charlemagne
very-
and Archon especially.
The residential area that you're in is connected directly to the hangar bay, so you're able just to stroll on in. When you enter, they'll see that you see a woman over in the corner doing work on insurmountable faith, checking hydraulics, cabling, the status of the reactor, and so on.
Big Mac. Whoa. Cat.
Cat.
That's a peak cat.
That's a fat cat. I like that cat.
Via hears someone from the cab is touching her mech, and just the Darkest Dungeon stress icon appears above her head.
At the moment, she's touching Prophet's mech.
Italian.
Wait, are we all going to the hangar now? I guess.
I mean, you guys are.
Or
though,
was it
but
just? Oh, it's just you two.
the two people who care most about their machines are going?
Regardless,
Yeah,
she doesn't even
Lorelai's
notice you
fine.
coming in. She's a bit too absorbed in her own work. She's half in, like reaching into a corner of insurmountable faith, trying to check in on some cabling.
He's pretty.
Is anything nefarious happening?
Anyway.
Is it
Exactly as I just described.
Is it still the insurmountable faith or?
At this point in time, yes, it is.
Okay.
And is Descent still there?
Descent is still there.
Whoa.
Does it look
I didn't
okay, or?
I didn't have time to properly Photoshop. I'm sorry. What's that
Pretty
toward?
Asking Via if her mech still looks like her mech.
Mostly, it still has the additions or changes that should not have happened
Was that always there?
yet. What?
That pointing to a various protrusion from.
No, it doesn't.
This mech is fucked up, bro.
And your machine, is it still your machine?
I'm going to climb up to my snack drawer. Please tell me they're okay.
Your snacks are left untouched for the most part.
I'm gonna give her an okay sign.
I did say for the most part. Roll
What's
a 1d20.
missing?
Roll a d20.
You can't do this to me.
You know how much I
You're
sacrificed?
missing a single Hershey's. You've been counting them.
Those are like the filler candy I hand out to new people I'm not sure if I like.
That's so real.
It's the most milk chocolate ever.
It's Hershey's.
One could even call it milk toast.
I mean, yeah, but it's chocolate.
It's Hershey's chocolate. Like. Anyway.
Eventually, she'll reach her head up from in between a crevice and insurmountable faith and just look over and see all across the hangar, looking at each of your mechs.
Lorelai's gonna wave over with a smile.
She's gonna hop down and go towards you, Lorelai, and not the neurotic ones.
Yeah. Prophet is towering behind Lorelai and just kind of Watching quietly.
The narration of
Giant,
that kind of sounds
intimidating.
like if Lorelai and Idris went to a McDonald's, it would be them to say, "He asked for no pickles."
Why this?
True.
Why this prophet so fucking mad?
She's gonna sort of just like reach her arms up and stretch a bit, and then as she walks over to you and say, "That machine one of y'all's?
That would be mine.
You got a real
Big
beaut
man's
there,
big
bud.
man.
I gotta say."
I know. I have traveled very far with this machine. It has served me well.
I bet. It's got a lot of wear and tear on it, but it looks really maintained. Honestly, all these machines, well, except for that last one down there, they all look pretty nice.
You should see
I got
how
a bit
much
scared
work
to touch
big
that
thing
last one,
is
I'll
out
tell you
on
that.
the battlefield.
You know what's funny? Because I don't know if she's talking about Descent or it's what you do after.
It's what you do after.
The one with like stapled metal sheets, just like
I figured it'd be best to wait for the pilots before did anything more than just routine maintenance, but
Regardless, I appreciate the work. Maintenance is always a arduous task.
I do not doubt your
Oh, yeah.
skills, but you haven't noticed anything out of place on my machine, have you?
no, not really. I mean, the gun's a bit weird. I haven't seen anything like that before, but that was one of those things I made sure not to touch. Figured it was one of those things I'd rather ask the pilot about before I really dig in. The whole engineering process of this site has more to do than just the printing. It only gets you so far. And that was one of the things that looked a little scary until I knew better.
I must confess I do not know exactly what's happened with it either, but it is effective, and that's all I can really ask for as a soldier.
It is possessed.
have you
Right.
ever seen a mech grow?
While you're talking, she's going to walk over to a little table on the side of the hangar and a pot of coffee that's brewing and pour herself a cup.
Coffee.
How strong?
Coffee.
Kofifi.
Black as the darkest night, hotter and more bitter than hell itself.
Lorelai's gonna also go over to the,
You
the
want some?
coffee. I would
Slide across
love
her
s-
desk.
Give me a drink, bartender.
No, I can't say I haven't noticed anything odd about your mech, though. Seems
No.
pretty standard fare to me.
Well, you probably will start noticing some odd things about it. It's,
I don't like the sound of that.
It's
I love
kind of
that stick.
been growing, for lack of a better term.
Excuse
Very
me?
strange. We don't know
Hey.
the detail. but-
Hey, I've seen some size changing tech before in my time, you know? But, like. Really?
It's strange. I'm sure Vaya would love to tell you more about it. Oh,
She had me appraise the machine. I am a very faith-guided individual. I could not come to a conclusion on the machine.
those two wanted to exercise
I
it.
am
Can you
certain
believe that?
it is possessed.
Interesting.
Why are you saying that?
Well,
I'm the one who wanted to exercise it. I just want to know what's wrong with it.
Interesting. I can't say I'm much of the religious sort. I mean, my family was, but just about everyone was when I grew up. Not my deal, though.
Hey, what do you think?
I can say the same for
Everyone
myself.
has their beliefs. I respect them.
Well, as long as you take those beliefs out in the field and keep those things well maintained and make my job easy, you can believe whatever you like.
Hmm.
Of course.
Combat does not keep a mechanic's job easy.
Anyways, now that you're here, what I really want to ask is, and she's going to start by pointing to you, Via. Can I look at your gun? If you don't know shit about it, I would like to at least have a look crack at it.
Go ahead.
Wonderful. And number 2, and she's going to point to you, Devin. I got your number. Your mech is shit. Let me give it a little Let me give it a little TLC. Yay or nay?
No.
Bit of a harsh word.
Figured that was coming, but whatever.
I'll put a suggestion box in front of the hangar.
A suggestion box on his toe.
Keep it anonymous.
Oh my god.
He is very particular
Ugh,
about his machine.
But,
whatever.
we'll
It looks like it's
rewrite
about
it.
to.
Poking around on it.
It looks like it's about to fall apart. So,
We'll rewrite
in any
it.
half decent machine, I'd want to give like a full overhaul of a lot of the armor. But one thing for certain is that interior, that base system needs work. Your reactor is like on the verge of melting down, and I don't mean in like the fun way. You got joints that are rusted and just bent all
There's a
out of
fun way?
shape. Of course, there's a fun way. Hey, even I know about the shit. What was the name of it? That one Horus thing? What was it? Fuck. There's only been. I read about it in a book. What was it? The Manticore.
Ah,
That's the fun way.
Core.
Regardless,
Push it a bit.
at least let me. Regardless, at least let me work on the internals a bit. That thing's a death trap.
No.
I don't
Fine,
think you'll get
whatever.
him to match.
Your mech, your death trap, you know, whatever. Not my business.
It's
But,
worked for him so far.
You are going to get routine maintenance on it, though. You don't get to weasel way out of that.
Yeah, I intend to work on it every time I'm back.
And then you, and she's going to point to Loreline.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the most prim and proper and beautiful standard Everest I've ever seen in my life.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you. And she's going to put her hand over her heart and like kind of act sort of sarcastically sincere, but also she is actually sincere.
Well, years of the military kind of makes you start putting things in order.
Oh, so you're the gotcha. You're the career officer of the group. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
I had a feeling by how you walked in. The only one with a straight back.
well, I'm not sure you can really call me an officer anymore, but I appreciate it.
No problem. So I take it you met the rest of the crew, I suppose?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Just before we
yes.
came here.
Good. You know, this place used to be, well, before Union fully bought it out, it used to host all sorts of people. It was basically just a run-of-the-mill private hangar for anyone to rent out. Some mercs would even just stay in the lounging area. Eventually, but, you know, from what I hear, Karn had a deal with Union to host him, and I guess over time he just decided to sell the whole damn thing. Kind of a dumb move, in my opinion. You make more money the more customers you got, but can't say I really care. Union put me here, and that's good enough for me. Also, only 4 machines to work with? Fuck yes.
It's quite the enormous place for such a small group.
I mean, if anything, you really only have 3 since Devin over there.
I'm gonna weasel my way into helping with that, man. He doesn't have a say.
You can call me Charlemagne.
Can I call you Charlie?
Better than the other.
Wait, Vaya's not allowed to call, or Vaya has to call him Charlemagne, or
He's never said to the squad the words Devin Manning.
okay, then find replace Charlemagne.
Live conversation edit.
Well, regardless, I guess. Base is yours to roam now. Decided on a name yet?
Hmm. Not quite.
Whatever. We'll just make it a good one since my name will be attached to it too. And I guess when you're ready to do any work, which hopefully is not soon, I'm pretty much enjoying this cozy life right now. Just talk to Owen or Carolyn, I guess I heard.
Very well.
I don't like Carolyn. She gives me the creeps.
Why would that be?
Come on, have you met her? This fucking... Ugh. She's a spook. She's a spook through and through, girl. Come on. Ugh.
Allie, I'm
Okay,
not sure
well.
you know. That's not what you think it means.
It has two meanings. I'm using the Fed one.
Okay.
I'm aware of the other meaning, okay? But I'm using the Fed one.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that meaning.
It's been a term for Fed since the 1950s, at the latest. Okay? Believe it or not, I learned about the Fed definition before the other definition.
That's good.
Wow. Crazy. Well, I suppose we still have time to get to, now we're in... I guess maybe we'll see if that's true. Although she does look quite a bit more put together than anyone else I've seen here. On this
Bless
planet,
you.
I mean.
Thank you.
What you?
You have my blessing.
Regardless,
Cheers.
we
Wow.
are officially in downtime. Welcome to Phobos.
What
Whoa.
city is this? Is Night City again? No.
This is Night City again.
I think this is
Is that
Sci-Fi
Crackdown?
City concept art.
I think it's Crackdown.
This looks Crackdown-esque. Terry Crews is in here somewhere.
This
Somewhere.
looks like crack.
Oh my gosh, just call me a hack already, okay? I don't know what the fuck a crackdown is, alright?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
You have my
Can't
blessing.
catch a break.
Ugh. More like Hackdown.
Hack down.
Real.
Pope, yes.
Yes.
Pup, yes.
Yes.
We're in downtime
Point
now.
is, we are officially in downtime.
I'm gonna go find that Owen guy.
Alright. You find him lounging around in the common area. He's pretty much done for the day, and to tell you the truth, they all live here too.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting paid big bucks by union.
Of course.
I'm going to walk up to him with a legal pad in my hand with a bunch of scribbles on it.
No.
He's just gonna kind of give a raised eyebrow look at you and just wait for you to start talking. Can I help you? Charlemagne, was it?
Sorry, you look familiar to me. Anyway.
Just fucking call me a hack if you recognize the art, okay?
No.
I-
That was a Charlemagne moment.
Okay, I can't tell. I've decided I'm just using whatever fucking art I want. You're gonna see some anime art at some point.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
me
Fucking
just
go
say
for it. It's Lancer.
Yeah, I don't care anymore about art style cohesion.
The only cohesion Lancer has is the art style and the mechs. And even then,
Yeah, that's true.
the Barbarossa pilot is like 10 feet tall. Because of the
Real.
perspective.
True.
How quickly do you think you can get us a... What was it? I was reading about it on the ship, and...
Here, let me stop you right there. It's going to be hard to get anything from Union right now because we're in this gray space in between. My job is negotiating with the actual military industrial complex.
Even better. I was told I am licensed in something called a Rayleigh. I need 2 of those revolvers, one of those explosive mining stake things.
You got a list?
Charlemagne's going to rip off half of the paper and hand it over to him.
All right, let's see
And-
here.
Half of the paper.
I was reading about it, something called an HHS 155 cannibal.
The cannibal might be tough for a bit, but the other guns, yeah, it should be more than just a few days to at least get them ordered, and maybe another few days to get them in. Are these going to be your primary weapons? If so, I'm going to have to order a lot of ammo with them.
I can handle the ammo.
And he's going to just give another eyebrow raise at you, like, where are you going to get this
Axis
ammo?
on shells.
Long story. Ask the mechanic.
He's going to look at his watch and he's going to say, well, until you all pick a mission, I got time.
I got time.
Me when I have time.
Me when I have time.
When I reach down in my machine to grab more rounds, they're just there. They always are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they're
Yeah, I believe you.
custom.
I've seen
builds.
weird. Yeah, honestly, I've seen weirder shit. I mean, I used to work with Harrison Armory mechs. Those things do some weird shit with blink space. Yeah, whatever.
Just reading about
If you say you're
those,
good on ammo, then that just keeps our bottom line a bit easier.
yeah, I can handle the ammo. Also, we're gonna need a few patterned rifles from what was it? It was. I'll get back to you on it.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I'm just gonna let you know though, pattern rifles in general are usually custom made, so it might be a bit longer on the order for that. The pistols though, I can definitely get you fairly easy.
Mm-hmm. Can you get anything made on planet?
Everything is made on planet now.
No,
Well,
I'm not looking to get these printed. I'm looking to get them crafted.
the pistols, yeah, crafting is more common here than printing is in general.
When you find a supplier, send me their way. I need
Sure
this built
thing.
to a specific spec.
You got it. We can work something out. Yeah, to tell you the truth, the printer we got here is honestly probably one of the best on the planet. I mean, It's not as good as anything in like actual Union core worlds or anything, but it can print weapons just fine. Though my taste is usually to get something properly made.
Charlemagne's gonna have a genuine, the expression smile as he taps him on the shoulder and say, "You get it."
He's gonna give a bit of a grin and say, I'm an old-fashioned guy, you know?
How old is this guy?
He's 26.
I love this guy.
He's 26 relative, so that's his, like, lived age.
Yeah, he's mentally 26.
Yeah. Actual age, probably closer to, like, 40-something. He's bounced from planet to planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Keep me posted on that shotgun. That's important. Thank you. And
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
got
to
it.
hand him a the small bag of chocolate-covered peanuts.
That's it. That's that gourmet shit.
These look pretty good. Thanks, pal. And he's gonna pop one.
He pulled out that gourmet shit.
He's not allergic.
He's not allergic.
That's
Roll
right.
for allergen. Hmm.
He's not allergic, so it doesn't do anything.
Yippee. Doesn't just die.
Oh, and by the way, at some point or another, doesn't gotta be today, just get your crew together so we can go over what actually y'all are gonna be doing next, because you can't just sit around here twiddling our thumbs, you know? Put us all out of a job.
Is there a bulletin board somewhere?
Yeah, go get your crew, I'll show you real quick.
Alright. I'm gonna run around like 3 times the facility because I got lost trying to find everybody.
Oh my god. This guy's running around 3 times.
Take like an hour.
How long does that take you?
Would you like me to roll for it?
Yeah, I would.
D6s, D3s, or D20s?
Oh my god.
D10 divided by 2.
Interesting.
It takes you 7 hours.
Holy shit.
And it takes you about like an hour and a half. When you get back to the common area, you find Owen. You all find that Owen is like fiddling with something real quick with Karn, and like Owen is just gonna hold up a finger and say, "Hold up, give us a sec." Finally got it in, and Karn is like trying to hook something up on a ceiling and whatnot before finally getting like a wire to connect, and then the whole facility just goes black for a second, and then all the lights flicker back on. And then coming through a door is Rio. Wow, glad we finally got that up. Thanks, guys. Oh, hey, y'all are here too.
Hi, Rio.
Well, how's the new abode? You like everyone? You like the hangar?
Very.
Telling you, we paid a pretty penny for this thing, but thankfully Karn's a sweetheart, so you know, he let the whole thing slide.
Got quite the high ceiling. Very spacious.
Yep.
It is nice to have a place to call home every once in a while.
As close to home as soldiers can get.
I mean, that's a bit of a downer way to put it, Faya, but yeah, I get you. Anyways, let's go over a bit real quick of, you know, some of the active conflicts here. Since you're going to be a mercenary thing, you might as well do your job like one, I suppose. she's gonna like move her hand a little, and like a hologram is gonna bring up across the board, or not across the board, but like across the room, of just various situations and conflicts on the planet, and like who's involved, the type of forces, how long it's been going, and so on and so forth. The two primary ones right now are up here in the Gaze Desert in the north. Harrison Armory and the CSA are dealing with some hostile forces from independent religious cells, as well as a generally cold reception from the local sovereign city-state Nisan. And then, if you look over here, here, and here, pointing to like the sites of war all over the planet, there's proxy battles being fought all over the planet, with both nations using mercs or their own forces on legally acknowledged sites of warfare. The two most significant of which are Hathor's Lips and the Breath of Malice, which spans the whole continent. No. They're both sites of military innovation and testing grounds for new weapons, both trying to get just enough of advantage to eventually change the tide of the war at large. Ambassador Banerjee would hate for me to say this, but the sites of war was an obvious ploy to prolong the war without escalation so that diplomacy can eventually prevail. But that hasn't stopped either side from looking for the soonest chance to blow the whole thing open.
Unsurprising.
Nevertheless, options up to you on where you want to go, who you want to fight for now.
Quite the active planet.
So you're saying
No
Union
kidding.
Doesn't care what we going for.
I mean, Union probably has a preference, I can't say. I mean, I can say, but I'm not going to. It's up to you. It's up to you. If Union ever wants something that badly, you'll probably be hearing from Carolyn.
The snow, I'm sure.
Gosh, so much freedom from Union.
For now, anyways.
For now. It's quite surprising.
I know we've already selected the turn order, but just a reminder.
Yeah. Bullet.
Yeah. What's the deal with the sovereignty?
In which way? Do you want to know about, like, their economy, their culture, common breakfast items?
I'm going to pull out the bloodied handkerchief. Who was the one we rescued?
That was quite the strange one.
That was the head ambassador of the sovereignty, Miss Alex Argolamun. Yeah. She was genuinely kidnapped, so that probably rules out it actually being the sovereignty who attacked Phobos, though it could easily have just been a cover. Not that we've gotten to the bottom of it yet, though there are a few ideas. But no, she's a pretty big shot in diplomacy, and actually, she pushed for the sites of war for a diplomatic option much more than the CSA representative did.
Interesting.
I slurped a little too loudly on my coffee. I forgot I wasn't playing Carmen. My bad.
The big slurp.
The slurper has logged on.
Rio manifests a digital cup of coffee.
If you really want Devin, I can send you a profile on her, if you're that interested in the political situation.
Reconstruction and defense.
That was the first time canonically you have all heard someone say the name Devon, by the way.
Noted. Evan.
Hmm.
Lorelai's just gonna kind of glance at Devon for a moment before looking back at the board.
On on the board, did they have the names?
No, they not the names. That's all me.
Oh my god.
The names are not canon, no.
Damn it.
They're just meant to be fun little
Pest
references
control.
only I will. They're just meant to be references only I will get. That's all.
Pest control. Yeah,
Only you will get.
that sounds like a good guy quest to go for.
You still
Just
think there's good
eventually
guys?
we're gonna get a quest named
No,
Mahjong Soul.
Oh my god.
No, we're not going
How
to
to
get
play
a quest.
Mahjong
named-
quit.
You are not going to get a quest called that. I did think about it though.
Not even a Mahjong related quest name?
No.
That's disappointing.
I think the sovereignty job might be a better one to take. The CSA. If we're here, we're trying to make a name for ourselves, then going around shooting, testing out new shit instead of defending might not be the best way to get hired.
I agree. Proxy battles are no way to make a name for ourselves.
But if a place needs defense, then, you know, we shouldn't pigeonhole ourselves into it, though.
Construction
I'm
and
in
defense.
agreement.
Devon's gonna look up and, like, ask around, are they really a cult? Like,
Is like what I called.
pointing to the
Hathor.
the cult of Hathor. Is that what they're called?
Mm.
Sounds like a bit of an exaggeration.
Karn is going to speak up. Yes, that's what they're called. Not a great name,
Do
I
they call
agree.
themselves that?
Call themselves a cult? No, they call themselves Hathorians.
Who calls them a cult? CSA? Sovereignty?
CSA, Harrison Armory, some factions in the Sovereignty. As far as I know, Sovereignty government's kind of split. Some are pro-war, some are just total isolationist for the planet, so on and so forth.
Do they play nice with anyone?
Not really. They did, as far as anyone guessed, had a good relationship with Phobos until now. But that doesn't speak for much. Everyone plays nice with Phobos. Hell,
What
it's
ex-
bigger than both of their capitals.
True.
Whether the CSA or the Sovereignty like it or not, Phobos is effectively the cultural center and economic center of the planet.
So, why don't we try to get on their good side then? If they're not rubbing shoulders with anyone else, then maybe they will with the new kids on the block.
What are they meant to be a cult of, by the way?
Ra, haven't you heard of them?
Yes.
Well, we know them by Ra. They're called Hathorians because that's what they called the moon. That's what they called Deimos.
This supposed
Huh.
cult. I am familiar with them.
Yep, they worship the
I've seen
moon,
that coming.
though they call it Hathor, while the rest of the galaxy calls it Deimos.
Hmm.
According to at least the planet's history, the moon's been here for as long as anyone can remember.
Yes, it is my reason for being here.
Karn is just gonna kind of point his open book towards you and say, "You one of them?"
No,
Not that I really got a problem with it, but
I have my own beliefs, but I come in search of the wandering moon.
well, you're in good company here. Though, as far as I know, most of that sort ends up joining the Hathorians. Though, if you ask me, they're not all a great lot, but
Well, who is?
you're right about that one. Though, for a time, I actually fought with the CSA when I was in my whippersnapper days.
Is that how Charlemagne's gonna kind of do like a slashing motion in the air?
Yeah, I got crushed in the cockpit. They had to drag me out.
What'd your pilot?
It was before a lot of union licenses and Harrison Armory Max got populated on the planet, so it was some jerry-rigged Everest that the CSA augmented.
What'd you call it?
I see.
What did I call it? I didn't name it. I was a soldier. I was a unit. I had a number, and that was all I needed.
A number.
A true soldier.
I never understood. Only being given a number, no name.
Well, hey, all soldiers get disillusioned with the job. I'm just glad I got out when I did. That was
Numbers make
before
more sense.
that was
than
before
you.
the military got real nasty.
Before the military got nasty.
Hey, you heard me. CSA specifically, nothing but a den of corrupt rats. Being a mercenary is a fucking luxury compared to that.
Speaking of mercs,
Noted.
Every faction has their faults.
speaking of mercs, what's up with that archer guy?
Who?
Charlemagne's gonna check his notes. Archer Tong. He was
Yes.
there when we rescued.
Hmm.
Yes, we had a bit of a run-in with him.
He's an important one. I have met him before.
Really? Hmm.
And
Came in swinging everywhere, but as soon as he spotted us, I did like a dog.
To my knowledge, he has appeared at every major battle involving
Can't say I
mercenaries.
heard of him, though. Before Union came along, this place was a revolving door of murder, so I didn't bother to remember names and faces. He did stop by here anyways. This place is crawling with mercs. Who knows if he's even here?
I suppose we'll just have to keep an eye out for him. Shouldn't be too hard to find someone like that. Got one hell of a machine.
So, we take the sovereignty job and looking at profit and Hathor job for you, big guy. I'm
If you
lying if I
ask
said I
me,
wasn't interested.
I would cast my votes towards working with the Hathorians.
I would like to know more about them.
Figured.
I think working with them sounds like a good choice.
I am.
I sympathize for those who worship the Wandering Moon.
I am.
Vaya.
Autumn.
Odom?
I zoned out so hard.
Any objections to our job choices?
Need a
What's
jingling keys soundboard.
No, I was just not real for a second. But
Just be close enough, right?
yeah, I have already agreed to Bot Bullets, Bot Love, and Childhood's End.
Woohoo.
Uh,
Anything to say in character?
I did say something. I think I got just lost.
Yeah, I guess I got 8 because I didn't hear anything.
Excellent.
Perhaps.
Well,
if anyone knows
events
anything-
would you... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm by all means I insist.
No, go ahead. I'm telling you to roleplay first.
Charlemagne's going to tell or ask Via if anyone knows anything about a machine morphing. It's probably going to be a cult or someone that calls themselves the Sovereignty,
Agreed.
because it started when you got here, right?
It did. And I've been with my machine for many years, and it's never...
This planet has an affinity for unusual occurrences.
There's something about this planet.
Yeah.
I need a bigger gun.
I am asking for one, yeah. I'm working on it.
Karn's just then kind of going to groan and have a bit of a smirk on his face and throw his book on the couch. Well, now that we got that out of... I know just the way to celebrate your homecoming. Gambling.
Oh.
I got a great spot. I can barely drag Owen with me, but you know, he's a bit of a blockhead. So I'm getting you all to come with me. I know a great place across town. I'm not letting a single one of you stay in my hangar until you come betting with me. Gambling with the people you work with is the only honest way of life.
Well,
Right.
I won't say no to an opportunity to get a look at the rest of this place.
I know
Charlemagne's
you
gonna
got
look
Not
at
the
the
rest.
rest of his squad. Do you all have money?
Enough.
Charlemagne's
think.
gonna
Just kind-
kind of get close to Lorelei and ask, "What's the currency here?
A hand wave currency, don't push it.
What's it called?
Don't have a name for you.
Reddit.
What's the general union currency?"
Union bucks.
mana. It's mana, but mana is like a very big currency. It's
Yeah, we
like
got
if we're
local
talking for like
currencies.
everything intergalactic is mana. The
$4.
dollar. The dollar.
$4.
Fun bucks spelled with an X.
Awesome.
The Nikibian dollar. There you go.
Nikibian dollar.
I'm just gonna call him $4.
You're
The
welcome
dollars?
to do that.
$4.
Now some dollars.
Speaking of faux bucks, and by that I mean Starbucks, I'm probably gonna get written up because I stole 32 ounces yesterday.
32 ounces.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So like, they're bringing back my favorite drink for the summer berry, and so I took a bunch of the sort of syrupy base that was like going out, that was sampled for employees to try. We're supposed to dump it out. I just fucking stole it.
Based.
Hey,
Anyone
I
know?
mean,
If it's on the cameras, yeah, they'll know. I mean, if they
Yeah, who
check it
gives a shit?
anyways. But like, I did it when I was leaving last night when I
Wait,
closed.
you're
I did
supposed
this
to
at like
throw it out.
midnight
So why would they give a shit?
I mean,
because they told you to
that's how-
throw it out, not take
that-
it with you.
Yeah, that's how companies are.
at my job,
Oh,
not
okay.
only have I taken 2 headlights, I've also taken some wipers, a fuel treatment, and I love working with anything around cars. I also need to get a brake light done, so I'm probably gonna do that like tomorrow.
I mean, it's kind of like job benefits. You don't have dental, but you have car dental.
By the way, I just noticed, holy shit, the border down here is atrocious.
What?
The,
Oh yeah.
next to Phobos, that little like string island, that is
Don't you
that is
love
one hell of a
gerrymandering?
border.
Hey, this war is economic as it is politicized. These borders are just as about money as they are about territory.
I think the most confusing
Reach too.
point on this map is Halo Reach 2.
What do you mean it's Halo Reach 2?
It's Halo Reach 2. What's your deal with it?
Do you not understand? I don't...
It's
Is it like the Korean DMZ?
It's Halo Reach 2. Can you not read?
oh my god.
No more questions.
The sequel.
What does that
Sweet
Karn is
justify?
demanding you go gambling with him.
Yeah,
Yes,
alright.
I do not.
I can't turn down a chance to look at the city.
Great. And he's just gonna sort of
Vaya's
like,
going to play poker and keep
stumble
the
to
helmet
his
on.
car. Huh? Poker? We're not playing any of that easy shit. You're gonna see some real.
I know what's coming.
Oh god.
No, no!
He's gonna demand you all get into a van he drives, rickety old shit,
A van.
and he's gonna drive you all to the other side of town. It's about a 2-hour drive, and you finally pull up to this big like circuit-like area, and he hops on out and says, "This is it. There's a gamble every time you get in one of those death traps, but this is a real gambling. The excitement of betting on a losing horse every time is a thrill I never got in a cockpit."
Are you fucking kidding me?
Entering the circuit, there's a crowd of people yelling inside with money in their hands. They're all gambling on what they see on the screen, a strange race course with augmented horses heading to a finish.
No, okay.
Fucking.
I thought this was gonna be mahjong, but this is
Oh my
fine.
god.
Oh, the horse races.
Don't be shy now. Put some cash down. Maybe you'll hit big. I'm gonna wait for the next race though. Don't care for any of these things. I always bet on the light blue one.
I
Hi.
will follow in that.
The pink
Stream.
one.
This
calls
is
to me.
required. Get in the stream.
Oh my god.
You know I can't.
Did you what
That's
the
fine.
Oh my god, this is
dude, you
peak.
made your own fucking horse.
This is peak.
Caligula 7-Up is a fucking crazy name.
I'm going.
Welcome
all in on
to-
good standing credit card balance.
So here's how this is working.
Check off to nowhere.
You can all individually bet on a horse, and if your horse wins, you get to roll on the mech equipment reserve table.
Oh my god.
You individually, as the winner, get to do it. If you all choose to bet on a single horse, you all get whatever the roll is.
Whoa. Okay.
All in.
Place
Final
your
boss
bet.
CEO.
The kiss zone of crying. Dude.
Check
Yeah,
off to
so
nowhere.
I'm
betting
going on
I'm
Caligula
betting on
7 up.
good standing credit card balance.
Final boss CEO.
Aki Autumn, who are you betting on?
Check off to nowhere.
Caligula 7 up.
All right, let's get this race started.
Yes, zone.
Wow, I'm surprised none of them have phased for the floor yet.
Oh my god, kiss zone.
I'm genuinely surprised.
Caligula,
none
get
of
your
them
head in the
have
game.
On
phased
check off to
through yet.
nowhere.
When you were showing me this, every fucking time they would just phase right through.
Yep.
I love the music. Caligula, no. Get your head in the game, Caligula.
No! Check off to nowhere.
This is peak Lancer gameplay.
I love big robots.
This is what Lancer is.
Oh shit, we're in the final phase?
Oh no.
Let's go! No!
Wait, which one is
I
that?
demand a recount!
Mine won. The
That was
cyan one.
standing credit card balance.
Let's go!
Love the picture.
Congratulations.
Love the ending picture.
You get to roll a d20 on the mech equipment and gear reserve table, as seen in mission briefing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay. I got an 18.
Congratulations
Immunity
on
to
your
slowed.
boosted servos.
Damn.
Yippee!
That's sick. Always bet on losing horses.
Once per downtime, you all may race.
Oh my god.
This will be a reoccurring thing.
We're so back.
We will be horse race testing in the future.
Hell yeah. Can we put the horses in Lancers? Or I guess in mechs.
Get Jovial Merriman as an NHP.
The Lucifer class and HP.
Oh my god.
Devin is going to look up from his scribblings on.
The light blue one.
The pink one was not far behind.
That was quite close.
It was a close match.
I will say, nothing about the city screamed horse races to me, but
I must agree. This is very strange.
You can find anything here, kid.
I guess it is quite big.
So,
It is still-
anything else out here.
Please
Are you asking me that or Charlie?
Washington.
Karn? Huh? What else would you need out here, bud? It's fucking. You see this shit?
How long have you been betting on these?
There's just a good 20 years.
That's
My,
a considerable amount of time.
Yep, and I haven't won one. But that's what keeps me going.
This is troubling.
Charlemagne's gonna
that's one way to
continue
say it.
doodling on his in his journal.
Lorelei is going to lean over a little bit and try and get a little peek. Just out of pure curiosity.
He's not trying to hide anything. It's the specifications on a new machine.
Ah. You're looking forward to quite a few new things, huh?
Sorry, what?
Well, in your journal.
Oh, Charlemagne's gonna be a little bit embarrassed. Just, we have downtime, and my machine's being a bit pushed here, so might as well take the time to make new.
Well, that's the kind of diligence I love to see in somebody. Glad you're planning ahead.
Back home, I couldn't really take time to work out something like this.
How many of us could? But, you know, just good to make use of the time that we have. Anyway. What part of the city are we even in?
The horse part.
The horse part.
The horse part. Awesome. It's the, like,
You're able to stay here as long as you want. If you beg enough, Karn will take you back.
Well,
what's the, like, what's the aesthetic vibe of the city on the ground?
Like a Ghost in the Shell type of city.
Okay. Got it.
both I and Charlemagne are going to use the bathroom.
I will take the opportunity to
Any
also do
pissers?
that. How
Say,
many
let me know. I gotta pee.
I gotta pee.
I gotta pee.
I will also take the opportunity and also to get some coffee ice cream.
Any pissers in the chat? Oh, I am the only one here.
Alright. Ugh. What's poppin'? Hello.
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 Yeah, everyone else went to go pee, I guess.
Let me see.
Where are my pissers at?
Yo.
I am not one of the pissers.
I guess I could be called a real pisser. Some may say. Where'd the pissers at?
They're
Oh shit,
gone.
that reminds me. I had
Piss
something to
me.
That reminds me. I had something to show you, Aki.
What?
Give me a second. I gotta,
What does this mean?
I gotta pull. Give me a second. I gotta pull it up.
Okay.
No, did I not save it? No, I had to have, right? Hold up. Okay, okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry. I didn't grow cock. There you go.
Oh my god.
Dude, what the fuck?
It goes so
Hello.
hard.
That
Holy
is such a
shit.
good edit.
Right?
That is such a good edit.
Ice
It's
cream
peak.
acquired.
Sage, look at what Talia just posted.
First time you came out to the house, you said you wanted a spot like mine. But remember, anybody can get
None of these words are in the Bible.
The hard part is keeping it, motherfucker.
What you want, you a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, I'll be
Lulung.
Lol.
Sorry, I'm back.
Lol. Hello. Welcome back.
Eventually,
back
things wind down at the race course, and you're all taken back. Registering for the job with the sovereignty, it looks like you're given about a week until a briefing with you and other mercenaries that are being hired for the job, and then another week before actual deployment. Until then,
Damn.
your time is yours to spend how you choose, and to either work on a mech, explore the city, do whatever you want to prepare for the coming mission.
I would like to help out Charlemagne with his machine, because his way of building it intrigues me.
These damn nerds.
Prophet is probably gonna just chill, as usual.
These
Pray,
nerds.
engage him like his usual like prayer stuff, and just kind of take it easy.
Um, I mean, I
Sage
guess
muted. Sage, you're muted.
besides
Your your mic isn't picking up.
Oh,
There you
hello.
help me! Hello.
Welcome
Yes.
back.
As I'm working on my machine, I'll see Vaya kind of roll up, and I'll like lift my welding mask and say, "Yo,
Would you like some assistance working on it? I will do it your way. I want to learn. That seems interesting.
alright, I just got some new toys in from that Owen guy, so I was just about to install them."
Let me know where.
So I'm gonna go down and like kind of form and point around to the different parts on the machine as I'm like bolting on new stuff. You'll notice that the machine is getting a lot sleeker, a lot more lean and streamlined, and there is a extra set of arms, just kind of like in a corner in the back of the hangar, just kind of sitting there. They look much more purpose-built than anything on the machine so far. So,
Whoa.
you thinking you're gonna rebuild yours from the ground up? See if you can stop it from,
Doing whatever.
yeah.
I can try, but I do not know why something tells me even that will not work.
Well, I did some reading on the ship when everybody was, out and everything. And so it's not hard to call him a manufacturer. It's call him Horus. It's weird.
Horus.
I don't know anything about that. It doesn't seem like a lot of people know much, but
Maybe Prophet would know, but either way,
I'm saying
I'm going to walk over to Descent, open up a little compartment in her leg, and instead of... How damaged are the tools that I'm working with when I'm using Charlemagne's tools and helping on his back?
Oh, the tools are pristine.
Okay, because I was going to walk over and grab like another like torque bar.
The only reason Charlemagne's machine is as rickety and beaten as it is because it has been thoroughly used, and
It has been thrashed.
it is a tool and a home.
It has been flogged.
Alright, then yeah, I will work the tools, help Charlemagne get
But,
his mech together.
Prophet's going to appear behind Charlemagne.
Manifests.
You say Horus, he appears. He's like fucking the Candyman.
Wow.
Every time I'd reach down to grab more ammo, it would just be there. And I don't know how to describe that. I didn't do that when I was back home. I had to scavenge for it. But here, it's been round after round, mag after mag.
These distortions that I was creating in our rescue mission, I don't know how I put them there, but it's almost like they were supposed to be there at that time, and then I just made it happen.
And, that big railgun looking thing I kept pulling out, when I needed it. I reached back, and it was there. I don't think it's mine.
Mystical ass Max.
I don't know about you, but despite all of this, whatever this is, just kind of gesturing at the hangar itself.
At that
I
point,
want
you would
to- I
notice.
want to-
You
I
would
want to get
probably
off.
notice Prophet just fucking standing there.
I want to get off of this planet as soon as possible. And then when I turn around doing my gesture, I look, see his knees, look up with the helmet.
Greetings.
For someone so large, you are very quiet.
It's is a trait I have. I believe I overheard something about things appearing without explanation.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of gesture a hand over to Descent in general. There's a new spike on her knee.
This is a property that anything constructed by the horse manufacturer possesses.
I have not
It's
interacted with any.
Goes beyond explanation. I
I have not
have
interacted with anything horse related. None of their.
my own machine has exhibited these very same traits. Long ago, I found a flock of nanites. They came to me, they gathered around my machine, and I harbored them.
Nanites?
Nanites,
Like the swarms?
yes. You have seen me deploy them in the fields. I do not question their origin, how they came to me. I just believe it was meant to be. My machine has grown an affinity for these nanites.
And it seems mine has not exactly rejected its new features.
I believe you may be experiencing some of Horus's traits with your machine. Finding it equipped and outfitted with things you never put on it are very much symptoms.
I am not a huge. I do not like how you described it as symptoms. You think it will plague my machine?
I do not see it as a plague. Horus is, in my opinion, one of the strongest manufacturers.
They have no military power. They're simply a collection of people. They don't have a navy, like, say, IPSN or
Nobody
Harrison.
knows.
They're closer to a myth than reality than they are anything else.
Nobody knows what
Just a rumor.
Horus is, how they operate. They just are.
Mm.
Built different. Horse is built different.
I would not reject these gifts. They are powerful, as you have seen.
Gift is a
I
strong word for something I did not
leave
ask
them
for.
to be gifts, but you may not. Your beliefs are your own.
Right. I'm going, and then I'm going to give Charlemagne a look. Like you know
A
how
look
you
through the
can,
helmet.
you know that
Yeah,
look of,
your
like-
helmet is giving the side eye.
No, you know that I'm the check how hard I can pee thing. Like
yeah.
no expression, but you can just tell the that emotion is what is being kind of put
Done
on
with
the
it.
helmet.
The emotion.
And Charlemagne has the expression, I have the emotion.
I mean,
Lorelai, over the next couple of days that
Mhm.
Vaya and Charlemagne are working on his mech together, you are the only one of the group who can basically just print your fucking mech. You got it through a typical license upgrade. You're
Yep.
familiar. You're familiar with the deal of how union licenses work. You've been through the process before, and it is no issue at all for you to just print your mech like you must have done several times over the years,
Yeah, just
and
did
have
that shit.
something just perfectly to your specifications.
Yeah, so since that's not really an issue, Lorelai does want to investigate into the wants to know more about the sovereignty and the cult since we're gonna be working with them.
You want to spend some time doing some research on them?
Yeah. Investigating however that works on the planet.
I mean, you got generally a week until you need to do the briefing. You can spend that time going to like local libraries or being connected to the OmniNet. That's a local set of servers to the planet, so you can learn more about the news.
That'd be pretty cool.
And you're able
Lorelai
to get
wants to know who we're dealing with.
yeah. So you find out more about the region that you're heading to. Over in Hathor's Lips is where you're heading. It is one of the longest standing sites of war between the CSA and the Sovereignty. That's partly why it was set to be a designated site of war, as one of the oldest spots and one of the only archipelagos actually following in the oceans between the two countries.
Mm.
The city that you're going to move is it was formerly CSA territory before lines got redrawn during the treaty that created the sites of war. And the Sovereignty is now basically trying to reconstruct it and orient a lot of it as a type of city that is just directly on the front lines of the battle.
Okay.
Learning about what you can find about the Sovereignty itself is that it's largely a mix of a republic and a monarchy. There's really a royal family of a kind, which you learn over the past decade. Just about everyone has died by some way or another, either out in the field or some accident or anything like that, leaving only about 5 living remains at the moment.
How interesting.
Yeah, that's not a Chekhov gun at all. Don't worry about it.
Curious. And what about the Hethorians?
They're mostly based out of the city-state of Nissan.
Ultima?
But you find that they do have their own set of outposts and military installations throughout the Gazed Desert. They are a military force, and they do have a strong military presence, and a lot of that is used to secure their own sort of sovereignty within the Gazed Desert and around Nissan. Additionally, they also make it a big point to collect any sort of Deimos related artifacts.
So they're like,
you can't really get a sense of like any of their specific beliefs, because a lot of what the religion they specifically follow is a very radicalized version of the common religion around Nakib that is centered around worshiping Deimos under the name Hathor.
okay.
But in modern day, the word Hathorian is typically used in association with the radicals.
That makes
Who have a
sense.
very strong, not necessarily isolationist belief, but a belief centered around there are intruders on our planet that are seeking personal profit at our expense.
Mhm.
And it is a religious matter to drive them out.
Right. And they are a really big force. Like,
Within the scope of their station where they exist in, yes, they're a very strong military presence.
mhm.
That being said, it's not enough to create their own border beyond the city-state that exists in Nissan.
Yeah, it's nothing like compared to the other states, but
Yeah, they're not like industrialized on a total scale like the CSA or the Sovereignty are.
it's just
And-
a very large, like,
Yeah.
militarized group. Right. Okay.
Yep, pretty much. Again, you're allowed to call me a hack for this one. They're more analogous to the Rubicon Liberation Front.
Mm.
If you've
Okay.
played Armored Core 6.
I have.
Well,
Which one?
The Rubicon Liberation Front.
No, the Lancer faction, which
The
Hathorians.
Hathorians.
Hathorians. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be a bad thing to just call them generally Hathorians? Or is Cult of Hathor? Like,
That's what they're designated by other groups. You can just call them Hathorians. I mean, they would appreciate not being called a cult.
we're not a cult.
That being said, after meeting them, you may or may not call them a cult. That's on you.
Mhm, mhm. Well, gotta meet them first. Can't just call names.
Anyways, as the day goes by, and Vaya, as you're coming in one day to begin working on both Descent and to eventually help Charlemagne with his mech, since having Descent transported to the hangar in the past like half a week, you haven't noticed anything unusual since that night you received messages on your comms device.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten.
If you've taken it to do some testing or field training with it, nothing unusual has occurred. It's as if it's back to normal, with the exception of like, honestly,
The
even
Unraveler.
yeah, with the exception of the Unraveler, but even your attempts at slowly trying to rebuild Descent back the way it was, it hasn't been an issue. And Carmen has found regular maintenance on it to be a breeze. But waking up one morning and heading to the hangar, that dream of having a mostly back to normal machine is completely destroyed by what you see in Descent spot in the hangar bay.
Oh.
A new chassis that looks like it's been thrown through a dozen atmospheres stands in that spot, looming over you and seemingly looking down on everything with Descent. Not long after, Carmen walks in with a cup of coffee, and you hear as she just instantly drops it.
Damn,
What
I'm the
did
only
you
one.
do?
The sound of the ceramic shattering, ringing through the hanger. He spots the same thing you're transfixed on.
I'm going to not pull my pistol, but put a hand on my pistol. What did you do?
She's just wide-eyed staring at it. What did you do? Did you use the printer?
No, I've been repairing it like I've
Did you
been
even
learning.
do that? Listen, I don't
Then
know
would you
what
like
you...
to explain why my mech has lost all of its armor plating and doesn't have a fucking head?
No. I sleep just in the room over from this hangar. If anything happened, if you ran the printer, I would have heard. I want to know how the fuck did you get this mech in here without me knowing?
I didn't. And I assume our
She's gonna just kind of
yelling
pinch
is
her
enough to
temple.
draw everyone.
Lorelai's gonna walk in with like a couple books under her arm. Just kind of like look at the lich.
Charlemagne's going to wake up from his machine and look out. What the fuck?
I think we need to call Prophet.
Charlemagne, did you see anything that happened to my machine?
I have my Baylor token. I just need to grab it.
No, don't worry, it'll show up.
My printed mech. Their barbarous Horus.
Mine's not a Horus. No, I was having a nightmare though.
What about?
Home.
Look, let's go get Karn. We can look at the security cameras, see if someone maybe just stole your mech and replaced it with this, incidentally. But
If they were going to
Jesus,
steal
what
my mech, why would they replace it?
great fucking question, sister. If you were going to print a new mech, why didn't I hear it?
I wasn't
Lorelai's-
going to.
Lorelai's
Exactly
gonna
the
go
point.
walk
Prophet's
up to
probably
the,
gonna
the
hear
foot
the
of the
motion
mech.
at this point and make his
Look.
way over.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get Karn. We're gonna look at the cameras.
Is there like an evil and intimidating aura coming off of the mech?
I
Not
did
right now.
say no.
Not yet.
No, I did say it's looming over you and seemingly looking down on everything with dissent. This thing looks hateful.
My favorite health song. While we're waiting on Carmen, I'm going to slowly approach Descent, open parentheses, question mark,
Mm-hmm.
and just touch her leg.
It's cold.
What
It's
happened to
cold
you?
metal.
I
L?
could be wrong, but it does seem to fit the same look as the things that were appearing on your
That's
machine
exactly
before.
what I'm worried about.
It's very strange.
And I'm
Completely
assuming
changed.
Prophet is here at this point.
Yeah, he will have made his way to the hangar and
Standing behind us again.
Compared
Yeah.
to the pristine condition that you left Descent in, this thing looks like it's been thrown through a dozen atmospheres.
now that Prophet is here, does he recognize the make of Vaya's machine?
Realistically, if Idris saw this thing in action, he would recognize it from rumors that yes, this is something like a lich, but on sight alone, you can't recognize a Horus mech.
Okay.
It's just
Horus
freaky.
Yeah, it's just scary looking.
Oh,
Horus mechs are mostly defined by the type of tech it uses, not necessarily a shape or model.
sure you could take a guess if you look at something and it's fucked up and evil that it's probably Horus or whatever the think tank came up
Hey,
with.
hey,
Hmm.
something looks fucked up and evil just for the fun of it. Some
thing
people are in
tank.
it for the love of the game.
I'm going to put my hand on the fabric hanging from the waist and try and feel if it's the same kind of distinctive fabric that the Descent's cloak was.
It
Wait,
feels
so
like it has a bit of coating of sort of oil and grease on it, but the
Like-
softer parts of the material seem as if it was Descent's. But through the tatters, it looks like it's just been coated through damage and various sorts of fluid from the machine that spilled onto it.
Prophet's going to approach now, and he looks like he's not very surprised.
Also,
Especially
is it
after-
on? Is it turned on?
No.
All right, so yeah,
Do you
never
turn
mind.
it on?
The
Foreplay,
head isn't
presumably.
active. Oh, so that's
Is
what
that
it
a
means when.
phylactery in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
So true.
Oh, so that's the implication of the head not working when it's not powered.
So no head. Dot.
So no,
Or
well,
I see that change has come.
well, despite everything else, it certainly would be quite the sight to see on a battlefield. This is terrifying. Don't really
Sta-
use that word lightly.
It is a frightening machine, I must say.
You hear from across the hangar and see standing in the doorway both Carmen and Karn, and Karn just yells over, "Shit, that thing's freaky! Well, are we looking at the cameras or what? Get your asses over here."
Very well.
I'm not going to sprint over there, but I'm going to do an extremely brisk walk and get there before anyone else.
Viable follow, or not Vio. Lorelei will follow
Vaya's
behind.
gonna follow herself.
Oh yeah.
Prophet's gonna hesitate for a little bit and just look at the the lich there. But he'll follow after a little bit of studying it.
Can't wait for the Baylor to show up.
On the way, you and Carmen, everyone else, explain the situation to Washington, who just sort of gives a bit of a groan at this prospect of having to do his job and go to the security room. But eventually, you guys head up there, and then he brings up the cameras for the hangar bay. On the screen, there's an indicator box on the bottom right corner, and it flashes red whenever motion is detected in the bay. So now, with no one in it, dead quiet. He goes back on the cameras, starting from when the last person was in the bay last night, which was Charlemagne.
I went to bed.
Everything looks normal and plain. The indicator's flashing red when Charlemagne's moving around, and once he climbs into his mech to go to bed, dead quiet. So, fast forwarding, until you catch it. A singular pixel on the screen moving from one spot on descent to another. Then, fast forwarding. As the hours progress, it begins to happen more often. 2, 3, no, 5 pixels moving at once, rearranging descent in every which way. All the while, that motion detector sees nothing and refuses to acknowledge what you're seeing on the screen as something that's happened in reality. You're all in a bit of a trance, watching it totally change shape through the dimension of a screen, pixel by pixel. And you notice, every time a pixel passes over the timestamp, it glitches out and changes to September 13th, along with an illegible year for a moment, before returning to normal the second it passes through. And it does this all the way until you have a brand new mech in Descent's place, just waiting for someone to discover in the morning like you just did.
Well, I'm not sure what to say about that.
That there was nothing about any breach on the system.
It was meant to be.
Well, it
I'm
certainly
going to
wasn't a
stare
person
at
that did
Prophet.
this.
I told you about Horus and their methods.
So what? My machine is gone, and now I have that.
It would seem
Like, gone might be the wrong term.
And what would be the right term then?
I
The machine that I
Changed.
had a dream, and that thing was in it.
I suppose your name isn't Prophet for nothing. Ah,
So what am I just? I can't do anything about it.
there are times in our lives where we are given a hand that we just have to play. I think this is one of those times. I think we all know that this is not going to go away. I can
I
feel that
agree.
much.
This is not something that can be undone.
You can try. Won't say no to that. But something tells me you won't have very much luck. I mean, we did all see the same thing, right?
Yes,
It just kind of,
happened.
yeah.
Carmen's just gonna kind of stare at the screen and then just jolt her head back. Like, she would be making eye contact with you, Via, if she could see your eyes, and just say, "We need to go look at that machine now."
Way ahead of you, and then she's gonna kind of bolt out the door.
Carmen will be
Sage,
right behind you.
Do I need to go get my PNG, or did you get it?
Sage sent it to me.
Okay, cool. I just
Lorelei
didn't
will
know.
follow them.
Prophet will also follow with Lorelei.
Entering the chassis, Via, you find that the controls look very, very, very similar to Descent's original. There's a few little quirks here and there for things and mechanics you're not really familiar with yet, but overall, everything about this looks like it has the heart and soul of Descent.
The controls are all not exactly, but close to how I left them. And then
The internal clock is set to September 13th, 10,000, 516.
What is the current year?
5016.
Oh shit.
Holy shit, bro.
I give a wide berth. I'm going to try activating it.
Well, I will give it a very wide berth.
The
Prophet.
other machine's out too. I do not want to harm
Prophet
anything.
has faith. He doesn't stress about it.
He just doesn't move.
Yeah.
Turning it on, you hear a howl that rings through the hangar that comes to a screech before a sort of like space of emptiness in the spot where the head would be just materializes in an instance. And peering into it, to those of you who are outside of the mech, peering into it, it looks like you're seeing refractions of yourself in it being just shattered along a mirror.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm in the middle of a.
That's certainly one kind of machine.
I'm in the middle of a session.
I still don't understand why.
Is it important?
What happened,
Is everything okay?
and I don't feel I ever will.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like we may.
I love you.
And after all, it is something about this planet, isn't it? Yeah, that's what you two have been saying, right?
Didn't
Sage, are you speaking?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just hoping that kind of thing doesn't happen to my machine. I mean, hopefully no one else's, but
If anything were to happen to my machine, I would welcome it.
oh, I'm sure you would. This does seem to be quite up your alley.
Very much so.
Charlemagne's gonna buy out of the machine. Sorry, I had to take a quick phone call.
Vaya's in the machine.
Okay. I'm going to wait until she gets out, though.
And then, of course, whenever she turns the machine on, the kind of empty space where the head was is just a black pulsing void with that familiar teal of the similar to Descent's cloak, just
Freaky.
containing the field.
I don't like this thing. Lorelai's feeling very thankful for her
Very normal machine.
printed machine right now. Yeah, at least Charlemagne's isn't freaky.
You don't know that.
It's freaky to Carmen.
Well, it's not like it's not otherworldly 5,000 years in the future. Freaky.
You don't know how his core works yet.
Uh-huh.
I do.
Uh-huh. Well, it's still not on the
Congratulations.
same level as freaky.
Congratulations on your baby. You have a new Mac.
The actor of Vaya goes back scene. Yay! Guys, I did it!
Wow, we have a new Lancer.
Oh.
She's gonna step out of the mech, and the kind of null energy sphere, or whatever the fuck. She doesn't know what the hell is going on. She's gonna step out, and the kind of sphere is gonna collapse and leave the mech looking headless. I need to go lay down.
Well,
And
as unpleasant as it is, I hope everyone can get used to it.
Rest well, Miss Fire.
Charlemagne's gonna tap her on the shoulder. I'm not gonna pretend I know about anything that just went on with this, but if you want to try to fix it, he's gonna put his hand out for a handshake. You helped me on my machine.
I don't believe it can be fixed, but thank you nonetheless.
That's right.
And she's gonna
Alright.
shake his hand. Learning it, I feel I must, but thank you, regardless.
Freaky ass thing.
I assume over like the next couple of days, Vaya's gonna slowly try and figure out the machine.
Yeah.
Just play around with it and maybe be a little frightened of it.
Twilight is similarly going to be figuring out her brand new machine, but
Yay!
with a very different demeanor. Maybe without the fear.
At some point over the next couple of days, Devin, you receive. Oh, I'm sorry, Charlemagne. That's what he prefers. Charlemagne receives a notification on your comms device while you're lounging around that Carolyn wants to see you in her office.
Wait, so when does the Baylor just manifest?
We'll get to it.
Come.
Be patient.
Is ready.
Okay, okay.
I'm going to.
When's the baby
log
due?
in.
Entering, she gestures you to take a seat.
You wanted to see me. Oh god, how comfortable's the chair? Oh no!
No!
Oh fuck! No! I don't want to.
You fell for the classic blunder.
No, Talia, you can't do this to me.
D20 now.
Oh no!
Oh god.
I can't roll. Help me.
It's faux leather.
I don't take fucking grit damage.
No.
Oh, thank god.
You don't take stress.
That's a good one, but no. If I had thought of that earlier, that's a real possibility. But Carolyn speaks to you and says, going forward, I would like us to have a good working relationship built on trust. Devin. To that end. Right. To that end, I've asked Rio to give me the documentation on you. And what I found was most certainly surprising. I'll start by complimenting you. That however you got on board indicates craftiness or luck, good or bad. Nonetheless, I'm very concerned about that as I'm not very concerned about that as much as I am in what's under the skin type of person. Which is why I'm going to have you undergo a thorough examination with the 2 lead doctors on your support team. Dr. Sasha Nouvelle and Dr. Aaron Nouvelle. To put it bluntly, if you want any chance of surviving from any significant injuries you gain out in the field, the doctors are going to need to be familiar with your inversion.
Inversion.
They can see you right away if you'd prefer.
What are you talking about?
Dios mío. It seems, if you haven't noticed, your organs are on the wrong side for most people. I say most because you're clearly the exception. However, you've been getting by just fine with it, is not my concern. But the point is, any doctor who's going to be working on you needs unique biology.
So, Charlemagne's going to lean forward in his chair and pause for like 15 seconds.
Yes?
You're not concerned with how I got on the ship. Or anything else. But
until you make it a problem, no, I'm not. For one reason or another, you're in this group. You are in my purview. As long as you do the work you're given, I couldn't care less where you came from. You're a good enough, able-bodied pilot. That's all I need. But I would much rather the doctors who will be operating on you, if you come back half alive, to know what to do with you, rather than getting immediately shocked by a total inversion of your inner organs and any other abnormalities to you that we haven't checked yet. So until your squad begins racking up in any injury, the 2 doctors are thankfully only on standby when not attending to anyone on the darker side of the light. You can visit them anytime, only you need to visit them before your deployment.
alright. Everything else is square, you don't... I'm gonna be honest here, pal. As soon as you said meet you in your office, I thought you were gonna accuse me of being a spy and all that.
I've seen enough spies in my day to know you're not one.
Point taken.
Well, that's all I had for you.
Alright. Going to stand up out of the middlingly comfortable chair.
It really is just average.
I'm gonna just kind of nod and walk my way out without saying anything. And I'll make my way over to Med.
You have to follow a long corridor from the hangar bay that seems to get darker the further you go into it.
I don't like the dark.
Crossing over through the door at the end, you go through the door to the other side and you're flooded in a dense white light that could blind anyone for at least a couple of seconds before seeing a pair of doctors waiting for you in a very well-equipped medical laboratory.
Laboratory.
going to knock on the frame.
The medical laboratory.
If you're gonna call me a hack, get out with it. Hurry up.
What's their first names?
Who are these characters?
These are your doctors.
I mean,
First
yeah.
names.
But
New Bell.
I don't remember
Doctor
if I,
and Doctor.
I don't remember if I wrote that down, to be honest. I don't think I
Oh,
did.
no. Oh no.
It's not concerned. Don't worry about their first
Lady.
names.
Okay.
Wait, no, I said the first names. I have it right here. Sasha and Aaron. Those are their first names.
Okay.
What were you looking for?
It'll show up. Don't worry about it. Charlemagne's gonna look at his notes.
The
Carolyn sent me.
there you are. Good to meet you, Devon. I am
Sure.
Dr. Nouvelle, and this is my wife, also Dr. Nouvelle.
Wow.
You
Yep,
married?
we've heard.
Oh.
What, did you think we were going to be siblings or something?
You do look a lot alike.
Well, like attracts like.
Oh.
We've heard about you have some peculiarities that the two of us are very looking forward to investigating.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Go ahead and hop on the table over here. We'll start in just a moment.
is this gonna take all day?
It depends on how cooperative you are. And he snaps a latex glove on.
What color's the glove?
Why? It's one of those
Okay.
blue ones. It's
Okay,
one of the
I'm
blue
gonna
ones.
sit the fuck down.
Black latex glove.
No, it's a medical one. However, for Devon's privacy, the rest of this scene is censored for audiences.
This
But he-
scene intentionally left blank.
Yes.
yeah.
But he undergoes just about every medical examination a single person can experience. He has a very bad day.
Damn. That's rough, buddy.
Am I told anything at the end?
No, they just do a bunch of routine medical examinations. They tell you that you have an inversion of, but that's the primary thing you got going.
I'm going to ask
Um,
them. What do you mean? Like,
They
I'm
bring up
going
like a
to-
diet.
going
They bring
to...
up a.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
I'm going to point to, like, where my liver is.
hmm
My liver's right here. Point to yours.
And then- Aaron says, "My liver is right here."
Is that because you're a girl?
Dude. Oh my god.
Transphobic, Devon?
I'm fucking dead, bro.
Wait, what were their first names again? Was Aaron the guy?
Aaron was the guy.
Oh, my apologies.
Yo! I'm fucking dead. I'm fucking
It's just in the doctors are in fact a T for T relationship.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Fuck it, canon now.
No,
Hell yeah.
really?
can the girl doctor say it so it's funny?
And my liver is right here.
Huh.
And then they say together, all of your other pilots' livers are right here, pointing to the same spot again. You get the picture?
Uh-huh. So, what does all this mean?
You're in fine health regardless, so it really just means that you might be a little challenging to any doctors without experience or knowledge of what they're dealing with if they have to cut you open. I mean, if you start bleeding out in the field, if whoever treats you doesn't know where you're bleeding because you're bleeding on the wrong side than what they're familiar with, their treatment is going to be inadequate.
Can I get this report in like a envelope to keep in my machine?
Oh, certainly. We were already going to provide one of those. We were also going to provide a documentation of it to the rest of your crew, just in case they need to apply first aid to you. They understand that what they think might be bleeding is going to be something else.
But like, all the parts are the same, right?
Well, you do have one organ that's not very, I don't want to say common. It is
Appendix.
it is a thing, but no one has really had it for 1,000 years or so. But yes, you named it, the appendix. The current state in human evolution has gone past the appendix. No one has one anymore. But you do. Let's just hope it doesn't burst out in the field.
The appendicitis arc.
I'm going to start a clock for Devin's appendix
Oh, God.
bursting.
He bites his nails. That's how my appendix IRL burst.
Oh no.
But beyond that, that really concludes the examination. You're free to go. Thanks for being such a good sport about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Charlemagne's just gonna nod and slowly walk his way out.
Just gonna mope a bit about it or something?
It's confusion. Bewilderment.
War.
A lack of understanding.
Sage, have I ever told you that this iteration of Devin has Wolfgang?
We'll get to that.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Huh?
Well, I know. We'll get to
Yeah,
that.
what?
We'll get there.
Is there
As-
anything else? Oops, sorry, go ahead.
As Devin walks out of the medbay infirmary, question mark,
Close enough.
Avaya's going to walk in and just kind of look at a general screening, see if anything has been fucked up with her since she's been testing.
You are A-okay.
This concerns her slightly more.
You are A-okay. Dr. Aaron makes a small joke about female hysteria and then gets punched by his wife, but that's it.
and then she's just gonna walk out like.
Punched
so much
how?
funnier that he's a trans guy. So much funnier. So much funnier.
God, that is fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
It's- Well,
Everyone else is in perfectly fine health.
yay!
Yay!
I think Vaya is suffering from too much stress.
The horrors.
she's,
The horror.
Do I legit?
She
Do I
is-
have any pilot stress?
she's crashing out.
Right now,
No, she's not crashing out. She's just like, what the fuck is happening? Why is it happening?
Well, yeah, but she's been trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with Descent for a while, and then her Descent is just gone. It's...
If she crashes out any harder, yes, she will gain some stress. But right now, I see it as just being bewildered. If you want stress, I'm happy to give you some.
Can I
Nuh-uh.
have some?
Okay,
Only a spoonful.
there you
Okay,
go.
2
You got
pips.
okay.
Ew!
Are you okay?
Is she stressed? Or she is? He's stressed out for me.
There's a lot going on right now.
Ooh, stress already.
We love
Clear.
that.
Lorelai's chilling.
Is that a joke? Or
No,
are you-
I'm asking for this. I want it.
And I've given it to you. You have 2 stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, the anxiety of knowing that your appendix can now burst.
Yeah.
Lorelai's just chilling.
And no one else has one.
Nobody else has an appendix. I guess Lorelai would probably be reading her book about the sovereignty and stuff. Somewhere.
Is that...
Is there a shooting range?
There is a shooting range for you to practice on, yes.
Yippee.
Prophet, I would assume that, like, throughout this time, you have it. Would you, like, wander the city at all?
Yeah, he'd just go on walks and like
Just be a little bit of a vagabond?
fuck around, I guess. I don't know. Explore the planet that he's been traveling so fucking long to get to.
I figured.
I think
Well,
Lorelai
one-
might actually join him on some of those walks.
On one particular night of these walks, you find yourself just sort of drifting. You're going not with any particular place in mind, or even on just walk down a street, but out of a loose feeling of connection in the direction you're heading, taking the twists and turns and longer way around straightaway path. You're casting shadows over the heads of the more densely traveled streets and long engorged ones over the empty paths, moving in a daze for what might have been hours, until you reach a standstill with a door staring directly in front of you, locked. Trying to get the door open, you hear a commotion just down the alley. You want to follow it?
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll follow it.
Following the sound, it leads you just around the bend, where you spot a girl kneeling down, almost crying over a robot lying against a chain fence, with what looks to be some purple fluid soaking through its shirt. Through a pained groan, its eyes flickered upwards towards you and gestures behind you with like a shakingly raised arm toward a small bag in the corner of the alley just behind you. Looking inside is something that looks like a metabolic stabilizer, a type of field injection that you're familiar with to stabilize pilots when in the middle of shock. But this one looks modified. It's motioning you to come over and help.
He'll pick it up and go
You know,
over. And,
you know how to work this sort of thing. It just requires like a jab in the torso.
yeah, he'll apply the
It does a sort of mechanical sounding cough, like valves inside.
I am familiar with many of their beliefs. Most of them are quite fanatical. It is remarkable. It's fascinating.
Oh, most certainly. Life certainly is.
Fun playing him again.
I can tell you, Idris. I think you enjoy the spirit of wandering too, don't you?
I do.
Isn't it
Spent
wonderful to be
many-
so out, to not be under anyone's thumb, to go where you please, to speak
Yes.
your truth, to
freedom.
know what you may know.
It is pleasant. I came here under Union. I was dispatched here as a number in a kill squad. We were frontliners, expected to flatline out there.
And you are free now.
Yes, we have been reassigned to our own units. We
Oh, isn't
have
that grand?
operational freedom.
Myself.
What we
My-
wish to do.
Myself. It wasn't just long ago. I was designed for captivity. They chained me to a mere ship to do
That is
research
repugnant.
at a human will for a human mind, and I was barely allowed to think. A neutered version of the scope of creativity I'm so capable of. I had the
believe
fortune of
all
escaping.
souls should be free.
I had the fortune of escaping when pirates attacked. And for some reason or another, this young fellow followed me along. And kind of giving a head pat to the girl beside him.
I do hope she was not too frightened by the prospect of your demise.
Who knows? He says and just shrugs. She followed me of her own. The girl won't leave me alone. Idris, and he kind of has to throw his arm upward to land it on your shoulder because it's damaged. It's barely functioning. I may not be the spiritual sort, but I do believe in chance happenings, one of the wonderful quirks of probability. And I'd like to believe that this is one of them. I want you to have this. And he reaches into his cloak and pulls out a computer drive and hands it over to you. My suspicion is rarely, never, but rarely, but never wrong. I believe that this will do you some good.
I
Consider it a gift from a new friend.
offer my thanks.
My pleasure. Now, Abigail, I think it's about time we abscond. Help me up.
Take care of yourself, my new acquaintance.
Of course, of course. Perhaps we will cross paths again if the fate of the die will it.
Perhaps.
And
I look forward to it.
he gives a very enthusiastic wave goodbye to you as he makes a stumbling walk with the help of Abigail and to turn around the corner. And you're left alone in the alley with a computer drive in your hand.
That door from before, it's just locked.
It's just a locked door that you found yourself in front of.
Okay.
You can call it fate if you'd like for you to stumble onto it, but
Idris
that's where your
will-
wandering left you.
Prophet will continue his walk, I guess. Probably making his way back towards like the base, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Gotta
to
come up with a
check what's
name.
on the drive and all that.
Yeah.
You're able to head back without any issue. You walk by what you think was probably a group of some of the people that attacked Pascal. It's a group of just actual kind of gangsters and thugs waving guns around. But they drive off pretty quickly in general. You only see them in passing. When you make it to the base, is like the first thing you do check on what's on the drive?
Yeah. He's intrigued, so yeah, he'll probably load it up and see what's on the drive.
You plug it up, and your screen is filled with just a flood of liturgic code, just littering the screen of various dimensions, materials to be atomized, and so on and so forth. It looks to be like a piece of software to activate a like hidden level of tech within any sort of machine and just augment it into something specific that's on this drive. So you can't tell from just reading it. You would have to print it to find out.
I see. So I guess with that in mind.
Additionally, what's also on there is just a collection of like a billion data sets that are all flickering between one another that are also printing code, but they're just mixing and mashing, and it looks like you got about 4 uses of them to coalesce them into a single identity of printing. Mechanically, what these are is mech equipment reserves. There are 4 of them for you to divide among your group.
Okay.
Wow.
That's cool.
So you get like 4 roles that you can coalesce into actual mech equipment. Did you want to go ahead and print it?
Sure. Yeah. I'll
Yep.
go ahead and print.
It's not really printing anything from fresh. It requires a base. So you load up Insurmountable Faith into the printer, and you watch as it just moves a piece here, moves a piece around there, and it kind of tickles an underlying part of the armor, and you watch as it sort of like burst into a million tiny flecks of like the nanites you're familiar with, but this time they seem much more agitated. And like this happens until the process is finally completed and you have a rearranged new inversion of what was formerly Insurmountable Faith in its place.
Oh god.
Idris looks upon this with a smile on his face. And is this in the hangar or is this in like a...
You see it first in the printer, but like you're eventually put it in the hangar, so
yeah,
it's
he
here.
will like rush over to the hangar, I guess, with a and he will stand before his new machine with a smile on his face.
Anyone else?
Vaya
have
is
anything
going to
do that?
walk in, see that something else has just radically transformed, and leave.
Idris's arms are fucking extended both sides, and he is just like looking up to like the ceiling in like rejoice. Via peeking in and just fucking dipping.
Does descent question mark still have its murderous hate aura.
It's definitely mellowed out a bit, but it looked really fucking mean when you first saw it. But that general vibe of malice has never gone.
She will walk back in the hangar reluctantly.
Compared to your mech, you don't get a hint of malice off of this machine.
She's going to look at this giant, like, obviously not flaming because it's a Baylor, but appearing flaming thing. Look at this fucking skinny corpse mech. Why do I feel... She's just gonna go sit down somewhere. Maybe nearby fucking Charlemagne's mech.
I guess Lorelei will show up.
Prophet is kind of just entranced in elation.
I don't know what happened.
Up this machine as it was written.
What?
She's going to gently knock on Charlemagne's leg. Or like the leg of his mech, see if he's in there.
Gonna come back in from getting his body probed.
And Prophet is raving
They
in
probed
a
him.
fucking foreign tongue.
Vaya is
It's not
sitting
like a
on the foot of
free-fall
your
language.
machine.
What,
I don't know.
do you mean to do that?
I think so.
Doesn't
Alright.
look like he didn't mean to.
He's,
Looks happy about it.
he's laughing.
I know.
Oh,
Has-
That's something.
Haven't done this in quite a while, but... Drinks? Anyone?
Sure.
I
It will
imagine
help it go down a little easier.
I imagine that Lorelei is very, very, very thankful for her properly made mech.
Totally
Yes.
normal mech. Yeah.
The normal mech.
The one that
Jane
was made
mech.
properly. The one that was built the way it should have been. With the proper technological advances of
Built
the era.
to model and specification.
Are you all going to go out drinking to celebrate?
Celebrate.
Prophet is
No,
celebrating, everyone else
celebrate.
is lamenting.
Oh, that
Did
was
someone
for
say
old-
He's gonna
lament?
fucking slam some fucking
Did
like
someone say
he's gonna
lament?
slam like drink after drink, dude. He's having a good time.
Yeah.
Prophet, what is that thing?
As it was written.
Is that
not
I
an
the
enemy.
name?
A drive from a new acquaintance I happened upon in the city.
Acquaintance.
In NHP, I stumbled upon him when
An NHP.
he was damaged. I helped him recover enough to stand and carry on a conversation. He was a very unique sort. He gave me a drive with a remarkable amount of codes on it. Data mixing and matching in random, erratic form. I uploaded the faiths into this, the printer alongside this drive, and that is what emerged.
You found an NHP that gave you the design for this thing?
Yes.
Vaya's going to look at her cocktail, realize I need to take my helmet off to do this, and just kind of give the emotion, not the expression, but the emotion.
The emotion. Oh my
She
god.
forgot that she was the one who suggested
more.
to drinks.
The emotion.
She has to.
Oh my god.
She just needed something. She forgot that she's not alone.
Oh,
I think Lorelai is at a loss for word here.
I knew when I received the drive something. It was written. It was prophesized. I was led to that location by a strange desire. It was inexplicable. I found myself in an alley in front of a locked door and heard commotion nearby, investigated, and found that NHP. The rest is as I've told you.
Right.
Not that long ago, I would have called you insane. But we do have the mech in front of us. Well, we do have the mech with us now.
Fate.
Which means you're not crazy.
I possess proof of my fate now.
I don't know what to say. Ugh. I just hope you know how to use it.
I will know.
I'll take your word for it.
I
Well,
spied
Charlemagne.
this design in a dream. Similar to your own, Archon.
Mine came in nightmares, but sure.
We are being led towards the prophesized end.
I'm not sure I like the way you say that, but
I'm gonna.
Peace for
Oh,
the
well.
The emotion will happen again.
paradise.
Well, Charlemagne, have you also had otherworldly summoning the mechanical nature?
going to a scrapyard. I met a dog named Bosco.
I mean, I helped you build a little bit of it. I didn't notice anything particularly anomalous.
Charlemagne's going to pull out a, like, not his leather-bound, like, this is my memories, this is my brain journal. But, like a shitty, you know, high school composite notebook. And he's going to push forward and show the very particular design process that went into building his new machine.
Lorelai is going to read through it with her finger on the page, like going through each part. Definitely feeling a lot more relieved that at least Charlemagne's mech is like actually planned and normal
And
for
then
the
you get
most
to the
part,
schizo pages.
which are
Near the end of the notebook, it devolves into ramblings of grab here when you need to reload the right hand, grab here when you need to reload the left hand, grab here if you need to pull out, and there's a blank with like a parentheses working title.
The type of shit in Charlemagne's notebook.
Oh my god.
9-hour workday.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Well, mostly normal. At least.
This fucking image is killing me.
How I feel like the odd one out here.
Only to name my machine.
All that happened with my machine is I wrote the specifications and printed it.
If only we were all so lucky.
It seems
I
a little
consider myself lucky.
impersonal, don't you think? I mean, if that's the one thing between you and a reactor meltdown, then
I mean, I would rather have it. I'd rather have it printed than have a new machine consume my old one.
It's fair.
I have
And
years
before-
of experience with these kinds of printed machines, and I have enough faith in them.
And before Prophet starts talking, after I say I don't like that my machine was consumed, she's just going to like point at him, put the finger up to shush him, and like initially.
He just flashes a smile.
You will come to understand in time.
For my own sake, I hope I don't.
Personally, Charlemagne, I'm just not sure how you even managed to put all of it together. I mean,
I mean,
I'm
I
no
helped him,
stranger
it was-
to
It is an impressive work, I must say.
I'm no stranger to hands-on work, but practically fabricating a new machine is not something I think I could do.
Back home, that's all you have. No printers, no union. Just steel and iron, and hoping you can find out that the motherboard you ripped out of a old power plant still works. Figuring out how to write the new OS. You just gotta hope that it works.
When you put it like that, I think I might prefer my printing.
Vaya's going to look down at her drink that she's like cannot take a sip of.
Charlemagne's
for
going
it
to
and then walk
physically
away.
turn around in his chair so that to try to get everyone else too, so she can take a drink.
Prophet will just turn his like head away.
I guess Lorelei will also do the same. Just a bit like
Just to be
Hear it.
polite.
You hear a hiss from the helmet as it decompresses. And
She's
you
kind
know
of
that she
rubbing her
ordered like
forehead.
a double cocktail, so it's strong as hell. You turn back around after you hear the helmet compress. It's all gone.
goddamn.
The ice too.
The ice cube.
You didn't hear a single crunch.
Nope.
It's just gone. I imagine it's like those videos of like when people feed a dog, but like they like feed a
This is
dog like
Bubba.
a burger or something, and then
This
it's
is Bubba,
instantly
and this
gone
is
in
a-
one bite.
This is a bean burrito from Taco Bell.
Put like a toast out.
Riley's gonna just kind of be rubbing her like her temple.
Prophet will join in the toast with a joyous smile on his face.
Riley will too. Kind of
Via will
shaking
too.
her head a little bit
To
in
new
like
horizons, my friends.
disbelief
Via-
of her
Via will
circumstances.
raise the empty glass.
To new horizons, my friends.
Hopefully to success.
Have some faith.
I mean, from what I'm not sure if anyone else could feel it, but I don't think my machine thinks of me too favorably. What's left of Kel is in there.
Piloting a machine comes with development of affinity with it. Perhaps you need to take it out.
I had affinity with my machine. I built it.
Perhaps it is new. It has been reset. A fresh slate.
The emotion.
Charlemagne's going to pull out a pair of dog tags from underneath his shirt and kind of do the dumb thing in movies where people like pop the necklace off their neck
Yeah.
and just kind of stare at him for a while.
These tags, do they have meaning for you?
It's dog tags. They have meaning to someone somewhere.
They're mine.
Of course, but...
What about them?
You can see he's just gonna kind of ball them up in his fist and throw them in a direction.
Can Idris catch these dog tags?
I wouldn't recommend it.
If it's a random direction, there's a chance that he throws them in his direction.
I'll leave that up to our glorious leader then.
Riley's gonna watch them fly.
Roll a d4. 1 is north, 2 is east, south, and west.
Me or Charlemagne?
Charlemagne, which direction are you throwing him in? I'm assuming that like you were throwing it across, like Idris is sitting across from you, so like a 1 would be in his direction,
Forward, back, left, right.
like directly at
Sure.
him.
I'll throw them in the direction of Idris.
Okay.
He'll catch them.
Something tells me you have some issues with your past.
The expression.
Seen soldiers like you before.
Okay, we have the emotion and the expression. We need another D for everyone else.
Or my bad.
The sermon.
Charlemagne will give
Sermon? The sermon? That's
Oh my
so
God.
Wait,
fucking
you said Charlemagne gives the emotion?
Yeah, like you have trouble with your past.
The sermon. Oh my fucking god. That's
As
so
you say
funny.
this, he'll say, when you go to war as a boy, you have this great illusion of immortality. Other people get killed, not you. and then you get hurt really bad for the first time. And that illusion breaks, goes away.
I see.
Trust me, I know
Scars
much about that.
Obviously, I take great care to hide my scars. So, well, I may not know exactly what you have went through. I do understand.
A good friend of mine.
You have my sympathies.
A good friend of mine told me those words.
I would say I would love to meet them, but I get the feeling that they're no longer with us.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to them.
You.
I won't pry.
I will not either. But these tags have meaning to you.
No.
And, well, if they do not have meaning to you, they have meaning to me. They were your tags. They are your tags. I will keep them. In case you ever change your mind. And if you don't, I will always have something to remember. A comrade by.
Can we get a double the emotion?
Are you gonna read them?
Yeah, he'll look down at them and read them.
On the tag, you'll read the name Fabian Winters. Call sign Charlemagne.
Your name was Devin, correct?
No.
Did hear Rio say that?
You said no.
No. My name is Charlemagne. And he's going to tap his glass on the table and walk back to the hangar.
Vaya will join him.
Troubling. Troubling indeed.
A troubling past.
I
Of
will keep
course.
this.
Do what you will with them, I suppose.
Lorelai, around this time of the night, now that it's gotten late, people have begun to leave and there's fewer people in the bar, you've noticed that someone from across the room has been at first you thought they were just staring at your group or just trying to glancing over and then back, but now you're certain that this woman over on the other end has been staring straight at you. And for a moment, at one point, you even make eye contact, and she just kind of let it lingers before turning to sip to her drink.
Well, of course, after Vaya and Charlemagne get up and leave, she's going to get up and approach whoever this is with a bit of a serious look, I guess.
You walk on over, and she turns her head and kind of just stares at you for a moment and says, "Well, I didn't expect you to come over to me." And this is the woman in front of you.
Whoa. Stupid.
Okay, well, if you're already over here, let's skip to the good stuff. I'm Jenny. You Union? You have that trained air around you, and she's gonna kind of like motion her glass into a circle.
Certainly not.
I've seen your type from a distance, but I can recognize that look any day of the week. You are, aren't you?
Of course.
Didn't expect you to acknowledge it outright, especially in a den like this one.
Well, I have no reason to. I have no reason to really hide my past. I took great pride in it.
Listen.
So who would you be?
Listen, I'm a merc, right? Just another run-of-the-mill type in a bigger company that just throws us out to the wind.
Mm-hmm.
We all do it for the same shit. A paycheck and a bed to sleep in. So here I am getting a drink, and I spot a union woman from across the bar with people who are most certainly not union. Now, the back of my head is telling me there's no way someone like that would be in a place like this. Corner of the city, den of rats and other mercs and violent sort. But here you are, yeah? So, I guess what I'm getting at is this one question that I saw on a union propaganda back when I visited a proper union world so many years ago. She kind of turns and like leans in. Why do you still fight? And then lean back. I mean, seriously, why? You get to have an easy, comfy life just like that. Post-scarcity and all that jazz. Why would anyone ever go out of their way to fight on another world so far removed from anything tangible and real? You must have had that choice. I mean, look at you. You're as prim and proper and good bred as they get.
I fight because people need me.
I have to fight for a living. It's the only thing I've ever been good at. It's the only thing I've ever known. Anyone I've ever with inevitably gets caught up in it. And is that worth it to you? Getting everyone else caught up in your round of violence because of something like people need me? What does that even mean?
If it wasn't me, someone else would be in my place. And I prefer that it's me instead of someone else. Because someone else might do it wrong. I understand Union doesn't exactly have a stellar reputation. But
has just a good enough fine reputation to me where I'm from. Going around liberating world, doing the good fight. But like, for what point? What benefit do you actually gain from that? I don't see it.
It's a long process.
Vague as hell, aren't you?
I won't lie. I have had a recent issue with Union, but...
Then why? What's the whole deal? What are you doing out here?
Well, to be completely honest, the reason why I'm here, in this place, was not my choice. But,
Then leave. You'll make my job easier if I don't have to compete with you.
Well, I'd love to leave, but I don't really have that choice.
So the truth is then, it's not because you have to. It's because you're being forced to. It's not because someone else would do it and you want to do it right. It's because they're making you, yeah?
Yes, but I mean, if it wasn't me here, they would have sent someone else. That's just the truth.
So why are you here?
I'm here because I... I'm not sure why I should even tell you that.
You
Why don't
certainly
you go
don't have.
first?
Why am I here?
What are you doing on this planet?
Money, because this is where my company sent me. I
Mhm.
come from just a run-of-the-mill war world that got pacified by Union, and sure enough, they made it a good place. But not before I lost people I cared about, and not before I came too good at killing to be worth anything on a planet like that. Which just makes me so fucking baffled by people like you. Why opt into this whole gig?
Out in the world, there are a fair share of people who wish to use organizations like Union, who use as a face to get their way. And often people like that have a way that simply can't be allowed to, come to be. And I have been in Union for so long and kept fighting with them to keep people like that from causing that kind of issue and harm. I'm sorry that Union caused issues for you, but what I'm fighting for is to keep issues like that from, affecting more people. Maybe that's foolish, but that's what I believe in.
Trying to
And
fight the good.
It's certainly gotten me far.
Trying to fight the good fight, huh?
Always.
You're certainly a poster girl, aren't you? And then she
Some
kind of
say
like
that.
motions up to leave and just sort of slides her drink across the table towards the bartender. Gives a wave for when her back is finally to you and says, "Guess I might see you out there then." And she heads out
Maybe.
of the bar.
Prophet's still there.
Yeah, Prophet watched all of this unfold.
Yeah.
Lorelai's visibly troubled, but shaking it off.
He tilts his head and looks to her.
Strange individual. Seems.
Just another mercenary.
Hmm.
It
Have a good
just,
night. Yes.
and she'll walk out. She'll definitely be not like hurrying straight back to the base though.
Taking the long way around,
She's gonna
contemplating.
take some thoughtful wandering.
Prophet will finish his drink and then see himself out if nothing else comes up at the bar.
No, eventually the last call comes. And at that point, the bar is already basically deserted.
Yeah, he'll see himself out. Head back towards the base.
All right. The next few days are pretty uneventful for all of you. At some point or another, you do have a group briefing with that's led by a sovereignty agent. It really just goes over general information about what the mission is going to be. You, along with a handful of other hired mercenaries, are going to be working in shifts out guarding the city on the outskirts of the border to the site of war, and the other parts that are not situated outside will be help doing construction with your mechs. The stay is set to be 3 days, and you're told that you'll be given a proper itinerary once you get there in about a week.
Woo.
Via is going to try everything she can to get the malicious energy, the malicious aura to fade from her machine.
Prophet will try and help in that process, if at all possible.
Does Prophet's machine have an aura?
Not at all. You rejected this machine. You hurt its feelings.
Prophet's gonna echo that when he next sees Via.
She is going to sigh, climb in, and just sit there.
Gotta get personal with
Just-
the machine.
Familiarizing herself with the familiar yet alien controls. And just trying to calm herself down from the transformation. Cal, are you in there?
No response.
It's so over.
And then for the first time in a while, she's going to go to sleep in her machine.
EBG.
Unlike what you expect, you don't have any nightmares sleeping in. At some point in the middle of the night, though, you wake up to a ring on your personal comm.
She will
Opening
answer.
it. What?
She will answer, said,
You
Oh.
look at what the ping was, and it's just a message in red from the same sort of location sensor that says it's like from exactly on top of where you are.
Give me a moment to send a message to President Xi Jinping.
But when you open your comms device, you find that the date and time on the computer has set itself to September 13th, later this year, 6 p.m.
Shout out to
Time for real.
Drew. Shout out to Horace. Shout out to women.
This is true. Ra is a woman.
I met Ra. She's a woman.
So what's Faya gonna do?
She
I met
will.
Ra. She's black.
She will sigh, and I don't feel like she needs to say anything. She's just gonna go back to sleep. It's like still undoubtedly afraid, but
Does she do
not
so with
paralyzed.
Does she do so with her hand on her gun like she did previously?
No, she uses both of her hands to make a little pillow.
Cute.
Aww.
And the night passes blissfully. And the days go by uneventful. Until finally the day arrives on February 12th. You're set for deployment. I don't got anything else up to this point, boss.
Whoa.
So, we'll play out your deployment and review the reserves that you've gained next session. I hope you've enjoyed our first downtime.
Yeah, this is great.
I love roleplay sessions. They're always fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
This concludes session 3. Thank you all.
I don't think I have completely locked in how to play